Welcome to the Mike Litton Experience Podcast. Mike has over 31 years experience in real estate, finance, and investing. He's passionate about being a father, a teacher, a realtor, an investor, and a leader. Everyone has a story, and our passion is to help them tell it. And now, introducing the host of the Mike Litton Experience, Mike Litton.
So what can you expect from the Mike Litton Experience? You can expect stories that will inspire, motivate, advice that will sharpen your focus, and expert information on real estate, finance, and market conditions. Joe Apfelbaum, thank you so much for being our guest on the Mike Litton Experience again. So one of the things that we're going to talk about here, round two, is AI, and specifically how AI can help us with LinkedIn, right? We're going to talk about how we can train AI. We're going to talk about what AI is capable of, and we're going to talk about why it's important to use it, right? Instead of just doing it manually. So let's start with, let's catch everybody up, because the people that saw the last episode have your life story on tape, right? So the people who saw your first episode with us have your life story. Let's talk about AI and specifically how you went about creating it.
Well, step number one is realize that over the past 10 years, I've trained over 1,000 companies on how to use LinkedIn.
Okay.
Thousands of people. I've trained them on how to use LinkedIn. And the number one issue that I found is that people don't have the time to do the things that they need to do. If I give you 30 things to do on LinkedIn and you only have 15 minutes a day, how are you going to do all those 30 things?
Right.
So artificial intelligence came out and I was like, there's an opportunity here. There's an opportunity to save people time, help them make more money, help them build relationships. How do you do that? And so I started messing with the AI, talking to the AI, brainstorming with the AI, and suddenly I came up with a concept and I tested it out as a LinkedIn poll first, surveying my audience, and 100 people paid for it before I actually launched anything. And so
Wow.
now I have customers. Now I got to go build a product.
Right. No kidding. Okay. So people wanted it. There was obviously demand there, right? So you go out and you build the product. Talk about building it. What did that take?
Well, building the product took, first of all, capital. You have to invest money to build a product. So it also took a lot of time, effort, energy, manpower, a lot of people. I would say it's pretty gut wrenching to build a new business. It
Yeah.
is. It's a difficult process. And if you learn how to be able to do that process one time, then you can do it many times. Building a
Yeah.
business is not easy. I built Ajax Union, my digital marketing agency, started in 2008. It was a difficult time to start a business in 2008.
Yeah.
2009, 2010, 2011 were years where we doubled the business every year.
Yeah.
And then 2012, we hit Inc. 500, one of the fastest growing companies in America. We were number 178 on the Inc. 500.
Oh,
So
that's
building
cool.
that business and then losing it all during COVID and then building it up again and learning how to build businesses is something that I realize it takes pain, just like building muscle takes pain.
Yeah.
It takes pain. It doesn't mean you're suffering, but you have to know that you need discipline. You need consistency. You can't be an ADD squirrel running after the next shiny object. You got to be focused. You got to have the right team. You got to have the right capital, the right cash flow, and you have to have customers. Customers is one of the most important things to have, but you got to have the right offer to the right market and make sure that you're doing things strategically and get the help you need, hiring the coaches, getting the support, reading the books. I read so many books on building a SaaS business and hired so many coaches before I actually was able to have the confidence to even build a SaaS business.
Okay. So real quick, for those people that don't know, what's a SaaS business? Give us the
Yeah, so
definition.
SaaS stands for software as a service. So for example, if you want to sell software and you want people to pay monthly for the software instead of paying thousands of dollars up front for what it costs to use the software, you use it as if it's a service.
Gotcha.
Getting a service with our AI tool, Evy AI. It's EVYAI.com.
Right.
So when you get Evy AI, what you do is you're getting a tool that will help you write posts with a hook, main points, call to action, hashtags, all done for you. You just have to put in your LinkedIn profile and who you are, and boom, it writes posts for you. You can write a post every minute if you want. It'll draft comments on other people's posts for you. It'll help you send connection notes and draft those connection notes so you can expand your network on LinkedIn. It'll help you write recommendations. It'll optimize your profile. It'll basically do all the things that a LinkedIn strategist would do for you, but it's artificial intelligence. It'll do it for you. And so it's really, really powerful to be able to offer a SaaS product like that to the world. And now we have 8,000 users in 34 countries around the world. And we have so many satisfied 5-star reviews. I'm so happy to see that I'm actually adding value to people's lives.
Yeah, that's awesome. So for people that have not done this before, if they went out tomorrow and they purchased this software, it would cost a huge amount of money. But what you're doing is you're offering it to them for a monthly fee, right? Where they can plug into the program, they can use the server, all that kind of thing, and it'll populate for you. And then once it populates for you, you just check it to make sure it's something that you approve, and you just hit send.
Yeah, 50 cents to $1 a day. It's like depending on the plan that you take. It's like really affordable. So I used to pay $1.80. I used to pay $180 to get a LinkedIn post created. Now I pay less than 50 cents to get a LinkedIn post created. And so if you're not using these tools, you are missing out on tons of opportunity of exposure. But again, if you were going to create a tool like this, it might cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars to create it. If you were going to buy it, it would cost you thousands of dollars to buy it. Now for 50 cents, you can rent time on it and use it software as a service. Really powerful.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And LinkedIn's powerful, right? I mean, I had somebody the other day look me up on LinkedIn, and they ended up hiring me. And they hired me because of what they saw on my LinkedIn profile.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And that's powerful. I mean, people
Yes.
don't even know that you can rewrite. Somebody just messaged me on LinkedIn. He said, Joe, I need to rewrite my LinkedIn profile. Can you send me to somebody that can do it for you? I said, yes, I know somebody that does it for $2,000, but can you try to first take a stab at using Evie AI for free to do it? Because we have a free version. And he's like, oh my God, I just did it. He
Yeah,
pushed a button and the AI wrote his entire profile for him and it just blew his mind.
that's cool. Well, it does blow your mind. When you use AI for the first time, it absolutely rocks your world, because you're like, how does it know all that about me? Right? How is it possible that it just hit that nail on the head? And it's one of those things where it's I don't know how to explain it. It's a really amazing tool. And it's something that if you're not using it, you're literally going to be falling behind, right? Like you said, you paid $180 for somebody to post something on LinkedIn for you, and now it's 50 cents, right? I mean, it's a completely different world now, and it's something where they can use that. And by the way, just real quick, and I don't know how you feel about this because I haven't talked to you about this in off camera, right? But one of the things that frustrates me about LinkedIn is I'll go into LinkedIn and I'll find somebody that I want to contact. I'll find somebody I wanted to figure out a way to do business with, right? Or at least introduce myself to. And I'll go in their contact information and there's a LinkedIn link. I click on the link, it takes me back to their profile. It's like a vicious circle, right? If you go on my LinkedIn, my email address is on there, my cell phone's on there. Everything you need for me is on there.
100%. I mean, look, at the end of the day, when I Google someone, the first thing that comes up typically is their LinkedIn profile.
Right.
And so making sure that you understand the domain authority that LinkedIn has is very, very high online.
Right.
It ranks really, really high. When you publish content on LinkedIn, you have a built-in audience, all your followers. When you publish something on your blog, no one sees it. Nobody cares about your blog. But everybody's on LinkedIn. They're on LinkedIn on their mobile phone. 60 million people are using LinkedIn for more than 17 minutes a day.
Wow.
LinkedIn's the only fully accepted social media site that all Fortune 500 companies allow their employees to use it during work. Facebook is blocked.
Wow.
LinkedIn is not blocked. So think about the amount of money that's on LinkedIn. Think about the amount of attention. LinkedIn just hit 1 billion members.
Mm-hmm.
1 billion members. And their goal is to go to 3 billion members globally as more people get access to the internet.
Wow.
This is a global economy. I have clients in 34 countries around the world.
Yeah.
That is crazy. They all came from LinkedIn. That's insane.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we've been doing this podcast now for just under 9 months. And we've had over 200,000 listens, over 100,000 downloads, and we're in 37 countries worldwide. That just boggles my mind. right? I didn't go out to those countries and invite them in or introduce myself to them or any of that kind of thing. They just showed up. They just started listening.
It's
It's
true.
amazing, absolutely amazing. Now we did have a guest on the other day whose life story we recorded, and she happened to be from Sierra Leone. And all of a sudden, the next day, Sierra Leone jumped on, right? And they're now listening quite a bit. But we don't have that many that are on from all those different countries. That makes sense.
Yeah, it
So
makes total sense. Yeah.
it's amazing, absolutely amazing. Okay, so let's talk about well, actually, let's real quick. Do you feel like it's important that people put their contact information in their LinkedIn profile?
Not if they don't want someone to contact you. I mean, if you want
Okay,
people to contact you, then yes, it's important. You have to think about it this way.
okay,
If you want people to take action, you got to tell them what action you want them to take.
right,
If you want people to call you, put your contact information there and get them to call you. If you want them to text you, email you, WhatsApp you, tell them. People do what they're told.
right.
And people won't do anything if you don't tell them to do anything. There's a concept in marketing called call to action. Have you heard of that?
Yes,
It's important to tell people. So if you're watching this podcast, give a podcast a like. Make sure to leave a comment below. Subscribe and make sure that if you're enjoying the Mike Litton pod experience, that you leave a 5-star review wherever you get your podcast, whether it's Spotify or iTunes. Click that 5-star review. That helps us get more exposure. People need to hear that.
yeah.
And
We
that's
have
why
it in we have it in every single episode.
yeah,
And we give them those instructions specifically because look, if you like what we're doing, give us a 5-star review. If you like what we're doing, subscribe. If you like what we're doing, hit that like button, right? In fact, I think we say something like smash that like button, which my daughter thought was funny, right? But it really is true. You want people to interact and let the world know how they feel about what it is that you're doing. Otherwise, they're just going to listen and move on, right? And hopefully they come back, you know. So yeah. Okay. So let's talk about specifically. So Ebby AI is something that people can sign up for and they can use. They could have Ebby AI if they wanted to. They could have it if they become a member. They could have it post for them every minute if they wanted to on LinkedIn.
100%. You can post as often as you like. I mean, I wouldn't recommend posting every minute, maybe every few hours or at least once a day, especially if you're not used to posting because the algorithm will be like, what are you spamming? You got to kind of train it and you got to break into it. So
Gotcha.
start with once a day. If you have a lot of ideas, then schedule out into the future. Schedule 365 posts for the next year. And if you have even more time, make those posts better instead of spending time creating more posts, go for quality over quantity. So I
Gotcha.
would start with a daily post if possible, because 24 hours is a good mark. And then make sure that you increase the quality of those posts and start with 30 days. Create 30 posts and then improve those posts, improve them, improve them, improve them, improve them, make them better, learn best practices. Make sure you have a great image, a great video, a great document. Make sure you use all different types of stuff. Yeah.
So what's the best type of post? If I was to come to you and say, "Hey, I need
Variety.
ideas on posting," what's the best type of post you would recommend? Like the top 3?
I would say the top three are image posts, polls, polls,
Mhm.
and document posts. Those are the three best types of posts in terms
Okay,
of
so let's talk
exposure.
about each one. So the first one is image.
Yeah, so if you post a text post and you attach a media image to it, like a picture of yourself, that will do really well typically, especially if the audience knows who you are.
Okay.
The second type of post is a poll, a survey. So if
Okay.
you look at me, I do at least one or two polls every single week. The polls usually get 10 times more exposure because every single time somebody votes on the poll, and it's really easy for people to vote on a poll, that poll gets sent out to more people. So,
Okay.
LinkedIn really wants people to use surveys because it's easy to interact and it gives you a dopamine hit. And then the third one is a document. Documents do particularly well on LinkedIn. So it's like uploading a PDF to LinkedIn. Really, really powerful.
Okay. So a PDF or a document would be how to use LinkedIn or use Ebby AI to make your LinkedIn more productive, something like that.
Yeah, 100%. Every AI will help you write posts. It'll help you draft comments. So if you want to leave a comment, my recommendation is leaving 5 comments every single day. So if you
Oh,
want to,
so on other people's posts.
yeah, that'll give you credibility. I mean, it's all about networking and building relationships. If you're not
Sure.
commenting on people's posts, then how are people going to remember that you exist?
Yeah. No, I agree with that. I agree with that. So Evie AI will actually comment for you.
Yes.
So all you do is
It'll
point it
draft.
and
Yeah, you just basically go to a post, you press the button, and it'll draft a post for that.
then you just review it. And as long as you're okay with it, you just hit send.
100%. That's what I would do.
Awesome. That's awesome. Okay. So when we go to train Evie AI, how do we do that?
The way that I do that is to create a persona. So you go to
Okay.
eviai.com, you press login, and then on the left side, you see it says personas. We have a video there that explains how to create a persona, but you create a persona that says act as Mike Litton and tell it about yourself. What industry are you in? Tell it what your preferred phrases are. Tell her what not to do, what to do, how long the comment should be. Tell it popular words to use and words not to use. Tell it things that you like, your hobbies, your networking, books that you've written, accomplishments, your values. Just give it as much information as you can about yourself and your history. And then when it generates a comment, it'll take all that into consideration and it'll kind of know what you know.
So
So if
it's your
there's
way to introduce yourself to them.
to the AI, and then
Yeah.
when you're drafting a comment, it'll consider all that, and the AI will come from that place. It'll
Okay.
take that perspective, and also when you're commenting, you can choose your tone, your goal, and you can have multiple personas. So, for example, maybe you want to have the persona that promotes your podcast. Maybe you want to have a persona that promotes your book. Maybe you want a persona that promotes one of your consulting businesses. And so you'll have three separate personas, one for each of the items, depending on the context of the post and what you want to promote.
Gotcha. Okay.
The
Okay.
AI also is really good at injecting links. I wrote a book called High Energy Networking. In my book, High Energy Networking, I talk about the step-by-step process to network better. And
Mhm.
so sometimes I want to send somebody a link to the book, but I don't want to have to go put the link in. So I'll put the link in the persona, and in the persona, I'll say, include this link in your response. And then when I respond, it'll somehow tie in that link and it'll promote my book.
Wow, that's cool. So
Yeah.
whatever you're promoting at the time,
You can
right,
choose
or
a persona for
whatever
that.
you're trying to drive traffic to, it'll put it in there.
Yeah, so there are 5 things that you wanna promote: your website, your podcast, your book, your whatever, your consulting services, your calendar link, whatever. Make 5 separate personas, and then when you're commenting, just choose that persona, and it'll include that.
Wow, that's cool.
And
That
it'll
is
do it in a way
a
that's so
great tool.
custom and so personalized. I mean, that's really the key. The key is the level of personalization that you can have, you know?
Right. Yeah, that's just awesome. So the more specific you are with the persona step, the better AI is at putting words together that sound like they're coming from you.
100%.
Okay, cool. So next, why is it important to use Evie AI versus doing it manually?
The reason why it's important to use Evi AI versus doing it manually is because Evi AI will do things faster, better, and in a way that will make you have less writer's block and less hesitation. So think about using a car versus using a bicycle when you want to go far.
Mhm,
If you're just doing it for exercise, then yeah, sure, do it manually if you like doing it manually.
mhm,
But if you need to get somewhere, if you're in business and you need to get somewhere, use a car.
mhm.
Use a car or use an airplane if you're traveling. Fly in first class. EVAI is like taking an airplane instead of walking. If you're going to California, if you want to get somewhere, use technology to help you there, get there faster. Also, you're not going to misspell people's names because the AI never misspells someone's name. You're also not going to mistaken somebody for somebody else because the technology is not going to do that. It can't. Sometimes I'll call you David and you'll be like, oh, shoot, I was thinking David, whatever. AI won't do that. It'll never have grammar mistakes or typos unless you tell it to. I have a profile called "Act Like a Drunk Person and Deliberately Make Typos." Um, you can.
Well,
I'm a
hold
little
on, hold on, hold on. We can't let that go. Talk to me for a second about that. What now?
uh, the idea is sometimes somebody tells you, "Hey, I know this is AI," and then you can reply like a drunk person, and they'll be like, "Okay, that wasn't AI." But then the AI replied like a drunk person. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How would a
Oh my
drunk person
gosh.
reply? Like, "Oh my god, the bubbles are flying, I can't," like whatever, it
Oh,
just
what a
goes.
crack up.
Yeah,
So it's a defense mechanism basically, right?
100%,
To throw
100%.
them off the scent.
Throw 'em off the scent.
I
Exactly.
love that. That is so cool. I would never have even thought of that. That is really clever. I love that. Okay. So if somebody's gonna spend time, and this takes time, this is a discipline, right? If they're gonna comment on, and you said 5 a day, is that what you said?
I would say minimum 5 a day. With heavy AI, you can do 20, 30, 40 very, very quickly.
Yeah. So how long does it take to do it manually versus heavy AI?
I would say it would take you 5 to 10 minutes per comment, depending on the level of the complexity of the comment. If you're just
And
writing
your
great posts in
typing speed,
a
right?
second. Yeah, and also reading the post, thinking about what to say, editing it, modifying it again. That could take you 5 to 10 minutes per comment. Over here, it could take you 5 to 10 seconds per comment.
Yeah. Wow. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
really,
That
really
makes
easy.
you so much more productive.
Yeah.
So is there anything else that you can use heavy AI for on LinkedIn?
Yeah, so there are 10 things that you can do on LinkedIn. So leaving people recommendations like testimonials on their profile, number
Okay.
1. Number 2 is you can optimize your profile. Number
Right.
3 is you can save specific people's profiles to lists, and then you can target them strategically. So, for example, if I have a list of people that are in a specific networking group, I can save them all to a list. And then if I want to comment on their posts, I don't have to go to the feed and wait for them to show up. I just go to that list and I can just click and see what they posted and comment on all their posts.
Hmm.
Number 4 is templates. You have certain prompts and certain things that you want to save as templates. You have the ability to save snippets and templates. You can do posts. You can write posts with heavy AI. We have an idea generator. You can come up with ideas for the posts. You can send direct messages. So reply to people's messages on LinkedIn. You can send connection notes. So connect with people on LinkedIn. You want to customize the message that you want to send them, but you're not sure what to say when you're connecting. Heavy AI will tell you what to say and it will write it up for you and so on.
Wow.
And then, of course, leaving strategic comments and then also creating summaries of people's profiles. So when you save their profile with the Chrome extension, you could just hit summarize profile and it'll write a beautiful summary of the profile very quickly.
So give me an example of that because that's something I've never done. What does a summary of a profile look like?
Oh, it's just a first name, last name, company name, what they do, who they help, and how they help them. Kind of just breaking it down. Because if I look at your profile right now, I'm not sure what you do, and you have probably about 5,000 words on your profile. So the AI will take those 5,000 words and make it into 5 bullet points for me. So I understand who you are and what you do, who you help, how you help them, and how we can work together.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty efficient.
Yeah, I mean, it just there's so many smart ways to use this tool, and so I highly recommend people go try out the free version, evyai.com. And if they want to upgrade, it's very affordable. It's only right now it's only $29 a month, but if they prepay for the year, they get 50% off right now. That's a special that we're running now. So I don't know if we'll still be running it by the time someone hears this podcast, but definitely check it out. And if you do see that special, I would say grab it because the price is going to go up because it costs us more than that to be able to give you that much value.
Right. Okay. So is there anything else that you'd like to cover about heavy AI?
What I would say is that remember that networking is about building relationships.
Yeah.
So make sure that as you're using tools like Evi AI, that you're actually reading what it's producing and that you're actually taking the time because a lot of people make a mistake. They just write stuff and then they post. Don't do that. That's not good. You want to write stuff and then spend a few seconds reading it and customizing it a little bit. It'll get you 80, 90% there, but spend that other 10% because it's like adding salt and pepper to your soup. Without the salt and pepper, it's just bland soup. You want it to
Right.
taste good. Otherwise, it gives you a bad taste in your mouth. So
Right.
that's the idea.
Or could leave a bad taste in their mouth.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, because if there's some sort of typos or whatever, unless of course you're looking to, unless of course you're intending to look drunk.
Yeah.
I just love that, man. That is one of the coolest things ever. But it's just like you to be that clever. You know what I mean? Like it's just like you to go, oh, okay, people are going to think this is AI, so let's just put a drunk version in, right? That'll work. That'll get them off the scent. I love that. That's really cool. Okay, so what's the future like for Evie AI?
Well, I want to help a million people be able to have a voice online. So it's not just about LinkedIn, it's about all the social platforms and it's about all forms of communication. But we're going to start with LinkedIn. Our first milestone is getting 30,000 people to use the tool every day. So that's kind of like where we're headed.
Okay. So you're gonna get 30,000 people on LinkedIn, and then where are you going next? Instagram, Facebook,
Yeah, we're going to go to Twitter.
on Twitter? Okay.
Yeah, we're going to do Facebook. We're going to do Instagram, YouTube. TikTok, and so on.
Wow. So how would Evie AI help me on YouTube?
The way that it would help you on YouTube is by helping you promote your YouTube videos by creating content that would go along with your YouTube video. So you can create SEO content for your YouTube videos, like a post, and you would just include that when you publish a video. So right now, when you're publishing a video, you're not just including a headline and maybe one or two lines, but you can take the transcript of the video, throw it into Evie AI, and it'll turn it into a very nice post that goes along with your video that's SEO friendly.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Yeah.
Man, what a great tool. It sounds like the future is really bright for Evie AI.
100%. And it's bright for people in general.
Yeah, I'm excited about this, man. This is very cool.
Yeah, I'm very, very grateful about this. Like I love helping people. I like making a difference for people. And for me, this is my way of giving back.
Yeah. Yeah, and you're doing a great job, buddy. You're
Thank
doing
you.
a great job. Okay, so give them the website one more time. It's Evie AI,
EVYAI.
EVYAI.com.
Yep, that's EVYAI.com. Exactly.
Right. And there's a free version.
There's
And
a
they can
free
also
version.
sign up for another version or an upgraded version that's $30 a month. And right now, if they pay the whole year ahead of time, they get
50% off.
50% off.
100%. Yeah.
And we don't know when that's going to expire, right? So they probably
Oh,
ought to jump on it quick.
yeah. It's, just go there and check and you'll see. But my recommendation is if you're serious about this, start using it every day. That's the key. Put it into your workflow. It's about using it.
Yeah,
People that pay attention. So I would say I would recommend, getting involved and starting to use these tools. But this is a very easy way to get involved with AI, especially if you're on LinkedIn and you want to start using LinkedIn more.
right. And you want to expand your network, right?
Mhm.
You want to expand your influence and
Expand your influence. That's the key.
right and build more presence out there so that you're generating more leads. More people are paying attention to you.
100% agree.
Anything else you'd like to cover?
That's all. I just want to say the secret to living is giving. So if you guys need anything, you can hit me up on LinkedIn. You can find me at Joe Apfelbaum on LinkedIn. And yeah, just make sure that if you're trying to connect with me and you can't for whatever reason, leave a comment on my post. I always see the comments on my post.
You
So,
know, you personify that probably better than just about anybody I know, that living is giving. And that's a big testament to you.
thank you.
Your entire life has been that way. And
100%.
that's really awesome, man. I mean, I hope you don't take this wrong, but I'm super proud of you. I really
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm really happy that you're proud of me and I really appreciate it. And then, like as a person, my mother always wanted me to be a real estate agent, believe it or not. I know that you're an EXP person and I never really understood what it meant to be a real estate agent or the concept of giving. And I wish I would have done it the way she told me to do it because I would have, things would have been differently in my life. But I don't have regrets. I just know that I have a lot of respect for real estate agents and what you're doing out there. And I think that using these tools as an EXP agent could really be a game changer, especially because you're a broker associate. I would highly, highly recommend figuring out a way to get more real estate agents to start using AI with LinkedIn
yeah,
because, like even the post that you posted from 3 days ago, you could have written a whole post with it. And it's just a missed opportunity from an SEO standpoint and also just adding value to people. So
yeah.
thank you for being proud of me. Thank you for the kind words. And I just want to say that I appreciate what you're doing too. And I'm really proud of you as well.
I'm happy for you, buddy.
Thank you.
See you soon. Thanks again for being here.
Thank you for having me on the Mike Litton Experience.
Appreciate you, buddy. We hope you enjoyed another episode of the Mike Litton Experience. If you did, do us a favor, smash that subscribe button, tell your friends, family, and coworkers about our program, and wherever you get your podcasts, please leave us a rating. It helps us to connect with quality people just like you.
And that's a wrap. Another episode of the Mike Litton Experience in the books. Reach out to Mike on Instagram at Litton Realty. Want to meet with Mike? Check out calendly.com/Rio760.